Ukrainian Defence Forces attacked the Russian port of Novorossiysk, significantly impacting Russia's ability to export oil, The Independent reports. Journalists are calling this attack one of the largest on Russian oil export infrastructure in recent months. As a result, Novorossiysk temporarily suspended oil exports, equivalent to 2.2 million barrels per day, or 2% of global supply. This caused global oil prices to rise by more than 2%. Overall, journalists write, this year, Ukrainian long-range drone and surface drone strikes have repeatedly disrupted Russian oil infrastructure. These strikes specifically targeted Baltic and Black Sea ports, the main pipeline system, and several oil refineries. It is noted that Ukraine used a Neptune missile to strike Novorossiysk. However, Kiev has a number of other long-range missiles in its arsenal. According to open sources, the Long Neptune is a ground-launched missile capable of traveling up to 1,000 kilometers. It was developed based on the standard Neptune, which was developed before the full-scale invasion. In March, President Volodymyr Zelenski announced that Ukraine had increased the range of this missile. The Ukrainian military announced that it was this missile that struck the port in Novorossiysk. Flamingo, a privately produced missile, also known as the FP5. According to Zelensky, this missile has a range of 3,000 kilometers. The president also reported that the Flamingo was used in strikes against Russia in October, but the details of the deployment are unknown. Zelensky noted that the Flamingo is expected to enter mass production by the end of 2025. Fierce, a kamikaze UAV, which became Ukraine's workhorse for long-range attacks on Russia's energy infrastructure this year. Manufactured at the Antonov aircraft plant, the drone can fly over 1,000 kilometers. Another product from the Ukrainian private manufacturer, Firepoint, is FP1. This kamikaze UAV is also actively used to strike targets in Russia and has a range of over 1,000 kilometers. Volodymyr Zelensky announced the first combat use of the Palyanytsa in August 2024. By October, the president reported dozens of warehouses hit by this drone missile. According to media reports, the UAV has a range of up to 650 kilometers, and thanks to its turbojet engine, it can fly at speeds of up to 900 kilometers an hour, significantly exceeding the capabilities of conventional drones. Another unmanned missile is Ruta. Its mass production, according to Zelensky, is also expected by the end of 2025. As the president reported in October, the UAV was used for the first time to destroy a naval platform at a range of over 250 kilometers. Pekla is one main weapon of Ukraine. There's also a missile drone, the first batch of which was delivered to the Ukrainian military in December 2024. According to Defense Express, this drone has a range of approximately 700 kilometers. Leopard is an unmanned missile and became known in April 2025. Last week, the Ukrainian military reported the successful use of this munition in an attack on Russian targets. Earlier, it was reported that the Ukrainian Defence Forces struck the Saratov oil refinery on the Volga River. According to Reuters, the attack completely halted the refinery's operations. In 2024, the Saratov refinery processed 5.8 million tons of oil. Overall, this represents approximately 2.2% of Russia's oil refining volume.
Romanian authorities carried out preventive evacuations in the village of Ploru in Tulcea County early Monday, November 17, after a drone attack on the Ukrainian port of Izmail ignited a liquefied petroleum gas vessel located close to the Romanian border, officials said. The fire, triggered during overnight strikes by Russian forces on targets near the Danube, prompted an immediate assessment by emergency services due to the proximity and potential risks to nearby communities. A serious danger arose on the border of Ukraine and Romania after a ship carrying about 4,000 tons of liquefied gas was attacked by a UAV on the Ukrainian bank of the Danube near the Romanian Ploru in Tulcea district. The General Inspectorate for Emergency Situations announced that local authorities, working with the Interior Ministry's specialized structures, ordered the temporary evacuation of residents and animals in areas closest to the possible blast zone. So far, 15 people have been evacuated from the village of Ploru and will be transported to Talkioi, where local authorities have prepared accommodation facilities for them, IGSU said on Monday morning. The measure will remain in place until the situation no longer poses any threat. The County Committee for Emergency Situations was activated to monitor developments and coordinate response efforts. The Ministry of Defense said its radar and surveillance systems detected and tracked airborne targets moving through Ukrainian airspace near Tulcea County during the overnight attack. At 2:30, authorities issued a RO alert warning to residents in the northern part of the county. The ministry noted, however, that no unauthorized entry into Romania's airspace was recorded. The Ministry of Defence Forces will carry out inspections today in the areas where risks may arise as a result of last night's events. Allied structures are also being informed in real time about the situations along the border with Ukraine, reads the press release. The Romanian ministry also condemned the Russian strikes, calling them unjustified attacks on Ukrainian civilian infrastructure and a serious violation of international law. The Turkish government's General Directorate of Maritime Affairs reported that a vessel with 16 Turkish crew members on board was attacked in the Ukrainian port of Izmail and caught fire. Turkish authorities stated that the crew was safely evacuated, and there were no casualties. Firefighters arrived at the scene and extinguished the fire on board. The mayor of Talkioi, which includes the village of Ploru, and the prefect of Tulcea County visited the area. Authorities decided to evacuate the population, as requested by the Ukrainian side, given the risk of the liquefied gas shipment causing a devastating explosion on both banks of the Danube. According to local authorities, at least 3 people were killed and 10 more wounded in Russian attacks in Ukraine's Kharkiv region last night. At the same time, Russian forces also attacked the port city of Izmail de la Dineri, located near the river border with Romania.